Welcome to Comically Comics, your one-stop listen to all things comics. We're talking books, movies, TV shows, video games, and more. I must forewarn you, though, we are a spoiler cast, and what that means is we consider all properties, past, future, and present, to be valid, and we will spoil the hell out of them. I'm your host, Michael, along with my two co-hosts, Richard and Jeremy, and with all that being said, let's get started. Alrighty, this Sunday, March 30th, and we are back with some Daredevil episodes 5 and 6. Let's go ahead and let's start off with episode 5 with interest. Matt gets caught up in a bank robbery. So that's this episode. But there's a lot of cool shit in this episode, honestly.
Yeah.
That just visually, storytelling wise, and connecting to the MCU, I was like, hey, what? There's that guy. Hey, wait, there's that guy. It was cool. So, Jerry, anyways, what's your whelming on this episode?
Well, I only got, hey, there's that guy once. And so probably missed a couple more in there.
Well, there was only 2 for me.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So you got half of them.
Well, hey, batting 500.
And 50% ain't bad.
Yeah.
It's just barely failing.
Yeah. We're there. But no, I was pleasantly whelmed with this episode. It was, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool seeing Matt, playing his role of like the innocent blind man and that kind of thing, but still being able to keep a little bit control of the situation. So seeing that different side of him a little bit on that. So yeah, I still enjoyed it. It wasn't like a real action. Well, yeah, I guess it's not like a real action packed, or still didn't see quote unquote Daredevil, but got to see him do a little bit of his Daredevil stuff. So yeah, I was pleasantly whelmed.
Nice. You went from overly whelmed twice.
Yes.
Last week to just pleasantly this week.
Yeah, but I will say, like, spoilers with this episode 6, it bumps me back up to overly whelmed. So.
We'll let you explain yourself when we get there.
Yeah.
Richard, what is your whelming?
I'm overly whelmed still. I really like this series. I really like this episode. This episode was really like a lot of fun. Yeah, it doesn't have Daredevil, but like I'm with Jeremy. I love seeing him like toy with the bank robbers, like just fuck with them. I just think that's hilarious. And yeah, I'm overly whelmed still.
Nice. I think I'm gonna commit to it, and I'm overly whelmed as well.
Wow.
Because I thought, like, I remember looking over at my wife, I was like, that was a really good episode.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun. It had a lot of everything that I was wanting from this TV show in it. Like, it was just a really, really well, like, it made Matt not just a brawler. Like, he was actually, thinking and using intelligence and stuff like that, which I really and thoroughly enjoy and like. So I feel like this episode had everything that I wanted in it. Like, no, we didn't get to see him in the Daredevil suit, but like, he throws on a red mask that he stole from one of the other henchmen and starts beating the shit out of a guy. Like, that's pretty close to Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. I mean, I think he even like hung up his little walking stick deal and like hit him with it. Like,
yeah, I was going to say he used his walking stick as well as a weapon. So,
I mean, that's pretty damn close, honestly.
He's just missing the horns, essentially.
Yeah. So cool. One of the biggest things that I noticed is they've integrated Kamala Khan and her family and the Ms. Marvel mythos into this Daredevil, which I was like, yes, I love the dad. His dad was there, and his dad's a banker, and his dad's in the entire episode, and he's a lovable old man. So, did y'all get surprised by that?
Yeah, I did. I like whenever he showed up, and I was like, oh, wait, oh, because didn't get Brie Larson.
Oh my God.
No, he did not.
So. Yeah, I thought it was fun bringing him in there, and I agree. He's just he's a lovable guy, like you said. I completely agree there. He's a good guy, and I hope that they do where he goes to have the meal with him and his family and gets to see Kamala and do that whole thing. I really hope that they come through with that.
That would be cool. That
Yeah.
would definitely be cool.
Yeah, I heard that he was going to be featured in the episode. I just didn't know what episode it was going to be. So when he showed up, I was like, oh shit, this one. I was pleasantly whelmed to see him. I like seeing him. I like his character. I love his little, like, he's like a fanboy of his daughter kind of thing, where he has like the little Funko Pop of Miss Marvel and stuff like that. He mentioned a line that she was in California visiting friends, and I'm like, is that the Young Avengers? Is that what that is?
Yo, I was gonna hit on that as well too, because I have theories, I have thoughts.
Okay.
So apparently, the rumor mill is that there was a Young Avengers line that was supposed to be coming out. Well, now they've changed that because the actors are definitely not staying young.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
As time goes on, they get. So now it's rumored that they're going to be more of like champions.
Okay.
Which was another thing that had been going on for the longest time, is that it was either going to be Young Avengers or champions.
Mm-hmm.
But then the comment gets made of, oh, she's out in California, and I'm like, shit, like. Are we going to do West Coast Avengers? Like, are we going to commit to that instead? Is that going to be, you know what I mean? Or are we setting that up kind of thing? Because that was a rumor for a long time was West Coast Avengers.
Yeah.
So I know from what I hear, the working title with Kamala's crew is Champions, but sometimes the working title is not always the final product. So will Champions turn into West Coast Avengers?
I kind of like the idea of being West Coast Avengers just because they've got, I can't think of her name right now, but female Hawkeye.
Yeah, Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop, thank you. Hawkeye in the comics, like Clint Barton Hawkeye. See, this is why they don't name. You shouldn't name. Like, there shouldn't be two Hawkeyes. It's so hard to discern. This is why I got irritated when they brought in Miles. And it's like, okay, you have two characters called Spider-Man. Who do you refer to? Anyway. Clint goes and forms the West Coast Avengers. So you could make it where in this version, a Hawkeye, it isn't Clint Barton, it's Kate Bishop and Kamala Khan form the West Coast Avengers or something. That would be kind of
cool. That would be cool. Well, and then, we were talking about not the set leaks, but the artwork, quote unquote leaks that happened however long ago. And in some of that, it was like Star-Lord and Vision sitting on a couch.
Right, yeah.
You could rope Vision into this whole setting up the West Coast Avengers as well, like, and maybe even bring Star-Lord in it. Like, you could have these other Avengers, kind of Avengers, Star-Lord anyways. The other two absolutely Avengers. But help bring up this champions group to be the West Coast.
I kind of want to see that. Like, I want to see Peter Quill, because Peter Quill's just a giant man child, if you will.
Right?
Like, I kind of want to see him and Vision like be the two mentors for the champions, the Young Avengers, whatever you want to call them. And like, I don't know, it's like the odd couple, if you will. Like, them being like, Peter Quill's like, you got to do this, you got to do that. And Vision's like, no, you don't do that. You do this kind of thing.
Well, it's so funny too, because like Peter Quill has enough personality for himself and the android.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that Vision's like, no personality anyways, but like he's a robot. You know what I mean?
Especially this new one, the white one.
Exactly. So like having them do is definitely like you're saying, an odd couple kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think would match up really nicely. So
yeah,
I'm with you. That would be fun.
Cool. So when they brought in, the premise is there's a bank robbery and everything. When one of the detectives that comes in, we saw her in like episode 1 with Detective Cherry. I always forget his name. What is his name? Cherry. Okay, Cherry.
Not Sherry.
Right. Like the fruit, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Cherry.
He's the cherry on top.
Okay, I got you.
Like the alcohol.
I got
you. Sherry.
What?
Sherry. Like the alcohol. Sherry, the drink.
No.
Now I'm confused. Now y'all just. I don't even know what's going on right now.
He doesn't even know what button to push.
Yeah, no.
What? I don't understand what you just said.
Anyway, the negotiator comes out, and it's Detective Angie Kim. I was so hoping, because it's the detective, she's Asian. I thought it was going to be Yuri Watanabe from Spider-Man. I was hoping there was going to be another kind of like connection there, but it wasn't, and I was sorely disappointed by that.
Okay, well, let me. So on that note, let me ask you this: were you disappointed with the swordsman cameo that was in this video?
Was it in this one, or was it the next
It was
one?
in episode 6.
There's two.
Yeah, no,
Oh, is there?
Yeah, but there was. I want to say on it because my notes say on episode 6 where you've got the BB report of
And he's showing the video.
Yeah.
Is that episode 6?
Yeah, that's episode 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
okay, never
Swordsman
mind.
shows up, and so spoilers,
Right.
Michael. Jeez,
Right. My bad.
no, you're fine.
Wait. So does that mean I'm batting 1,000 then?
You're batting 1,000 so far. Yes,
You are.
You're good.
Ah, sweet.
Well, congratulations.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, since we kind of brought me to a thought though, my one complaint though with the episode was like Spider-Man would have showed up to this, like he heard it on his little radio and he'd been like, bank robbery, I'm totally there. Like he would have absolutely showed up to this.
Yeah.
So that was my one complaint with it, but other than that, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Would you have been excited if they showed like a shadow swinging by at least at some
Yeah.
point in time where like New Rockstar was like, here's the shadow of Peter Parker coming
no, exactly.
by.
Yeah,
like,
no. I will take the bare
just something.
fucking minimum at this point. like I got excited that Kingpin in episode 1 or 2 or whatever mentioned about a guy like wearing a mask, like
Right.
swinging around the city or whatever. Like,
Yes.
I just need some sort of reference to him. Like, he doesn't necessarily have to. I would love for him to show up personally, but like, I just need them to at least reference him, especially in situations where he would absolutely be referenced in.
Yeah. It would have been cool if somebody on the force had been like, "Where's a wall crawler when you need him?" or
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
That would have been cool. So and definitely on par.
Yeah.
I like this is done on like this robbery is being done by Irishmen or an Irish gang on St. Paddy's Day. And I like a lot of the talk that's going on with that, where especially with the detective who's negotiating back and forth.
Yeah.
And he's like, St. Paddy's Day is just another day for us Protestant Irishmen. And like, cause like there's a big history there between like Catholic and Protestant Irishmen and, St. Patrick and all that. Yes. So I love that. I love how they threw that in there. Like, especially when he's like a Jew on Christmas. I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah. In other words, it's just another day. It's
Exactly.
just another Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to have that explained to me, to be 100% honest with you. I was asking my wife, I was like, what the fuck does he mean here? And she was like explaining all that to me. I was like, oh, okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. I was like, wow, look at them.
I believe even so much that like I think it's North and South Irishmen, correct me if I'm wrong, have like their flags different. Where it's like it's flopped.
Your guess as good as mine. I don't know.
I did a lot of research however long ago on like all this kind of stuff. And so that's where I was learning all about it and the difference in the Protestants and the Catholics and all that. So I'm pretty sure that they flop the red and the green.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I love also they acknowledge Matt being Irish, having an Irish name, because nobody ever talks about Matt being Irish. And I love it.
I also forgot Matt in the comics is a redhead. And he's really not in the show.
Yeah.
And because that's one of the reasons I think, not just because he wears a red suit, why Punisher calls him Red is because he's got red hair.
I got you.
I fucking, I forgot about that when he mentions it. I love that whole interaction with the Irish, like, bank robber leader and Matt. That shit was so fucking funny.
Yes.
Where he was just like, oh, Jesus wept. he's like, well, a blind man and an orphan. He's like, you're like a regular Charles Dickens character.
Yes. Yes. I'm just letting y'all know right now, freaking the Irish gang is well over, is greater than the tracksuit mafia. I'm just laying it out here right now.
Oh, yes.
I don't know, bro.
No. That's funny. What else do I have here? Okay, so here's something that I had beef with. This TV show has done a very good job with Matt's power and ability to being able to hear. Like we focused a lot on the hearing aspect and how that's been, turned up several notches because of his impairment.
Yeah.
And I wish, though, there was a fantastic opportunity they had and they set up with the key, where Kamala's dad he's gotten the key from Matt.
Mhm.
Matt pulled it off one of the Irishmen. He took it to Kamala's dad. Kamala's dad was like, "There's a number on here, but it's worn and I can't read it." That would have been a perfect opportunity for Matt to be like, "Well, let me see it real quick," and him to rub his finger over it.
Yeah.
And you to be able to,
yeah.
and like his sense of feeling, you know what I mean? Just kind of accentuate that.
Yeah.
Where it's like even his feeling is like turned up a notch. Like it doesn't have to be anything major, but like he could feel the, you know what I mean, the difference there.
No,
I wish they would have done that.
Yeah.
It absolutely should be more heightened, because in the comics, Matt can read, like they've established that Matt can read like the newspaper by just rubbing, like he can feel the ink on the paper.
Nice.
So like he doesn't necessarily need Braille. It just makes things easier for him.
Right.
But like he can just rub his hand across like pieces of paper and feel the like raised part where the ink was printed on there.
Yeah. No, I felt, and I was hoping that's where they were going, especially since they took all that time for him to like pick that lock. Like just move on into the key, and that would have shown us something completely different that we've not seen before, like ever.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
In TV, anyways. I apologize. In TV or in the movie.
Yeah, and I agree, because like it to me it seems like, yes, they are focusing on the hearing, but it's I agree that it's everything that's gotten heightened for him basically. So I wish they would show a little bit more on that as well.
I mean, they've even gone as far as like him smelling that chick's lunch from the other day and talking about a holiday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like
yeah.
they've even touched base on his, his ability to be able to smell. So like, come on, bring us the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought the fight sequences in this episode were just so on point. Him trying, like the stairwell scene of him trying to do it quietly, reaching down to grab the gun while also trying to choke a dude out. Like a lot of like all these fight scenes, I was just like, man, these are, and then of course the alleyway with the big boss. Like, and I was kind of surprised that the boss gave him such a hard time. I was like, Matt, are you rusty? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like whenever they got into that alleyway, I was like, shouldn't this only take like 10 seconds?
Right.
it's been a year, so I'm gonna go with that is exactly what they're implying there, is that he is rusty. He hasn't been daredeviling, so he can still take a punch, because like that's the whole thing with him and like the Murdochs, if you will. His dad was like really good at taking punches, and so is Matt, but I think he's just rusty at fighting. But yeah,
got a little bit of that, like a Daredevil dad bod kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, that Irishman put up more of a fight than those cops did, and he took on 2 cops. Like, that's kind of, I think, where I'm having more of my beef with it. Like, I feel like those cops, I guess it's because, they knew he was blind. You know what I mean? Whereas this guy had no idea. Like, maybe, so he was just getting attacked. So,
not to mention, cops are more trained with like firearms than like hand-to-hand combat, if you will. So I could assume that the Irish bank robber like is more like, he knows how to fight like with his fists, because he, like, I don't know, grew up on the streets or something.
I was gonna say probably grew up something like that.
But no, I'm with you. Like that stairwell fight was so fucking well choreographed. I love like him taking off his tie and trying to use that as like a weapon, and then it gets cut, and then he has to like kind of pivot with what he's doing there, and then the him hearing the gun slipping off the like railing and then like catches it before it drops. Like, it was so. I was like, yes, this is what I signed up for, man. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and them two sliding down the stairs backwards, you know what I mean? Like that, I was like, daggum, like that's like just doing that as a stunt. That's impressive, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. My kids, try and do stuff like that all the time here at the house. And it's like, but they have such young bodies that are rubber.
They're not like 40 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
However old he is. Charlie Cox is.
The last thing though is the fight with the Irish leader, if you will. Fuck. Like I just wrote, fuck my knee.
Oh God,
Right?
yes. That was
Right?
honestly the first thing. Whenever I saw it, like I was sitting there watching it, and like I doubled. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like, and doubled over whenever I saw it, and
I
like,
did too.
and in my mind, I was like, I'm sorry, Rich. Like I was like, I hate it for Richard watching that because
Yeah.
I know you have that issue with like the body
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I just immediately was like, oh God, my fucking knee. Oh.
You felt his pain.
Yes, I did.
That was terrible.
Nobody's talking about him getting his face slammed into whatever that was that was breakable.
The newsstand thing.
Yeah, no, I was like, when it happened, I was like, oh fuck, and even my wife was like, oh, and then just it was quickly into the transitioning to him just like running and leaping and just shattering his leg,
Yeah.
and I was just like, fuck.
No, yeah, it was. Yeah, that's a great way to finish it.
Yeah,
Great way to finish
no, that
it.
like
So-
after that, it's like, nope, that fight's over. That's done. That's done. You ain't fighting after that, like ever again.
And all this was done over a gym that I guess was worth $1.8 million.
Mhm.
I feel like, do y'all think this gym may have more importance as the saga moves on?
Like, what do you mean? Like it's an Infinity Stone?
I don't want to say Infinity Stone, but something like that. Like that. This is a lot of emphasis on a stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like even making sure it gets back and all that jazz, and it's in a candy jar and stuff, like, which I thought was pretty slick. But still, I don't know. It's just I just why a stone? Other than it was easy to swip it with butterscotch. Like I don't know. Just maybe I'm thinking too much, but it makes me question it.
Yeah, I can see where your head's at. I'm gonna go with no. It's just something that they wrote for this episode, and
Yeah.
like you said, it matches the butterscotch candy thing, and that was the only reason why. But yeah, I mean, it does seem like where Fisk is probably dealing with hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Even when he was like doing his crime organization, 1.8 feels like chump change. So I'm just like,
yeah.
why so much over so very little? But we'll see, I guess. I my gut says no. It's just like this is just a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we do see, like, in the next episode that they're focused on 1.8. That Fisk wants Luca to pay the 1.8.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. That's weird. It could just be like it's the gem that powers the machine for the mind control that they're setting up or something. I don't know.
It always leads to mind control.
Yeah.
No, I my gut says the same thing. Not gonna lie, my gut says the same thing, that it means nothing. However, the shots that they make when they pull it out of the safety deposit box and they just kind of zone in on it, and when they get to the top and they start to, he's like, oh no, but you need this, and he holds it up and they zone in on it. I'm like, y'all are giving some solo shots to this freaking gym that I don't think it's well deserved or needed. Like, so that's what kind of has me like, is this something that we're going to be like, oh, it's that fucking gym?
Yeah, I don't know, because I can't think of anything else it would be other than like an Infinity Stone / gem.
Right. No, I can't either.
And in the MCU, it would be the one that was in Vision's head.
Right.
Be the Soul Stone? Mind Stone? I can't remember. Mind Stone. It's the Mind Stone.
Mind Stone. Yeah, Mind Stone.
So that was
I don't know.
yellow, not orange. So never mind. That's not So that's the Soul Stone. If it was one of the infinities. Yeah, I don't know either, man.
Yeah, we'll see eventually, or not.
The thing that was crazy to me is like everybody was in on this. Like one of the hostages was in on this heist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure one of the cops was in on the heist. That's why he wanted to like, we're going in right now kind of thing.
Mm.
So I don't know. It was just a lot of like, who the fuck isn't in on this kind of thing? I love seeing Matt like smack that one when they go in and like the tear gas is it's the guy in yellow. The guy wearing the yellow mask, and he just like smashes his head up against the like column and knocks him out immediately. I just thought that was sweet.
That was fantastic.
The last thing I have here, though, is just a little bit of trivia. This is because, there was a lot of behind the scenes fuckery. This is the one episode that they have deemed as the untouched episode.
Oh,
So there were
really?
there were no reshoots for this episode. This was the original episode for the original intent
Huh.
of the series.
So the 1.8 was a story all along then for Luca, which means that he would have to have his gang would have had to have done something the whole time because that's
Yeah.
the whole cause of the 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it doesn't matter who charges him with it though. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else really that's like long term. Speaking of fuckery, there's a lot of fucks dropped in this episode.
Yeah.
Like a lot of fucks.
Oh, is there?
There
Yeah,
was.
I was surprised.
Yeah, I am too, actually, but I'm happy. I really didn't think they would do it, but hey, I'm happy that they're not
Right.
moon knighting this, if you will.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's cool. I will like what was the original run count was like 18 episodes or no, it was 20 something. It was like 24 episodes, wasn't it? And
No,
then
I
they
thought it was
shortened it to
18.
18 and then they've split it or something.
I thought it was 18, and yeah, now they've like cut it up into 2 parts or something like that.
And I feel like the original rumors were like, yeah, that it was such a horrible script. We weren't going to get Daredevil for like the first 6 episodes. And it's like, I mean, we're at episode 5. And
Yeah.
we've really only got Daredevil for like 10, 15 minutes maybe. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
in costume anyways. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, shit, like, I don't know. What did they change kind of thing? So
Yeah, I haven't brought much of it up, but there has been stuff coming out of like this is what they changed for like this episode and so on and so forth. Maybe at the end of the first season, I'll try and collect all that and talk about it.
Yeah. I know one of the ones was the whole Foggy thing, that was actually going to happen off screen.
Yeah,
So I do know that.
yeah, I'm glad that they did it on screen. I
Same. It has more weight.
when I heard, because I had heard like Foggy and Karen were going to be like killed and gone and not even part of the series, and I was like, oh, that fucking sucks. But
Yeah.
they're both missing, and I'm kind of like I'm still digging this series a lot, so I guess I'm fine with it. Weirdly, I didn't think I would be.
Well, they're missing, but I think we saw it, and we're kind of like walking with Matt with it, and I
Yeah.
think that makes a difference.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it definitely did. That them doing the like Infinity War or Endgame, where it was like 5 years later kind of thing, when they did the 1 year later. It definitely like it hammers home that like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
well, this is permanent kind of thing, and we're almost going through the same stages of grief as like Matt is kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just now realized that we haven't had any talk or mention of the blip.
No,
There's been no blippage.
no. If anything, this takes place definitely after the blip, because Matt was daredeviling during the blip, if I'm not mistaken, because of what we saw through Echo and all of that.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah. I just feel like this is one of the first series where like we're not talking about the blip, and I'm sure there's more before it. It's just kind of hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, because we were tired of it there for a bit. You know what I mean? Where it was like, this
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
blip. Get over it. Get over it.
Now I just want them to talk about the giant, like, eternal, whatever, celestial in the ocean.
Big ol' egg.
Yes.
That's all I got for episode 5. Y'all got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. You paused.
Holding on bated breath there, Jeremy.
Needed confirmation.
Oh, really? I don't. It's like right after. I felt like it was right after.
No.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
Episode 6, Excessive Force. We get a big time introduction to Muse here in this episode. And not only is Kingpin, along with his merry men that he's forming after him, but Daredevil, he's touched, Muse has touched Daredevil's life as well. And so now Daredevil, Matt Murdock, is back and he is after old Muse. So, whelmings, Jeremy, what is your whelming of this episode?
Yeah, this one I bumped back up into overwhelmed. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved seeing the sliding into their past lives, like both Kingpin and Daredevil, and I know Richard, like you're talking about before, as far as like whenever Kingpin's walking down, and he's got the light behind him down the stairs, and I love that it was like a slow-mo of him doing that and making his T-Rex foot stomps basically coming down down the steps.
Foot stomps.
But I thought it was very, and even like I liked in his going to that banquet thing for trying to get his project going, and it being a whole different thing than what he's used to. And I liked the conversation that they overlaid with Vanessa while doing it. And so it was just, there was a lot to it that I really, really enjoyed how they did this one.
Cool. Richard?
Yeah, I am overly whelmed still. I really enjoy this episode as well. I hadn't really picked up on the banquet stuff with Kingpin, but that makes a lot more sense. I definitely picked up on the him walking down the stairs again and like descending into hell, if you will, kind of stuff. And yeah, while that all is going on, we're seeing Matt finally being Daredevil and doing Daredevil stuff. So it's like both Kingpin and Daredevil have returned to form, kind of thing. I love all that, and yeah. So I'm enjoying the show. That's all I can really like. And my whelming is kind of boring for the series. It's just kind of like, yep, it's good. I like it. I recommend it.
I dropped down a tad when it comes. So I'm like that. I'm like pleasantly to overly whelmed. Like there's part, like it was still a good episode. Don't get me wrong. It was still, it wasn't as fun as the previous one for me, but I did enjoy it. I love the story that they're telling about it. So it's still fantastic writing, and the actors are doing all, and actresses are doing all their thing. So really am enjoying it, but it wasn't the fun level that episode 5 was. So, but pleasantly to overly whelmed for me. And no, yeah, there was like, the more we've talked about it here, because I wasn't noticing everything that y'all were noticing, and then the more that we've talked about it, the more that I have started noticing. And so I was with you, Jeremy, like when Vanessa's telling this whole story about how like basically, King, you're gonna go in there and you're not shit. This is gonna be an area where you have no weight. Nobody gives a fuck about you. And like, and then you just seeing that play out as she's like narrating that and how it goes exactly like she said it was going to. And it's just like, dude, and like she's in the room.
Yeah.
Like as she's telling the story and looking over at him like, I told you, fuckface, like this is how this is gonna go. And it's like, then it comes to me and it's like, shit, like the game that Vanessa's playing with him now. And it's like, how much can he really actually trust her? And is that going to be like a turning point kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that kind of popped in my head too, because it was especially whenever he had to dismiss himself, saying that he had other business to take care of.
Yeah.
She kind of gave this knowing side eye glance or kind of mischievous look to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, kind of like what you'd been saying before. Just wonder if Vanessa's going to make it. Like, and if
Right.
because she seems like she may have more, because the game obviously evolved and changed while Kingpin was gone. So
Mm-hmm.
she has a better understanding of that. And even with Luca, whenever he came in there trying to upshow Kingpin a little bit on that. I mean, and he told him like it's a new game. There's different rules now and stuff like that. Kind of is what he kind of was trying to play out there. And so I think Kingpin's gonna he's got a little catching up to do, and I think Vanessa has a good handle on it.
Yeah, the Luca part, I was really expecting Kingpin to grab him by the head and just start crushing his head in and be like, "You're gonna do this, or I'm going to crush your head." Like, I was really expecting that, and he didn't. So I was like, "Oh, okay, what's going on with old Penny over here? What the hell is happening with him?" So yeah, I think he too, maybe like what we were talking about with Matt being rusty, maybe Kingpin himself is rusty, if you will. And yeah, he knows how to do, crime, but he doesn't know how to do politics. And that's
Yeah.
the new sort of game that he's learning how to do.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wonder, like, because of the backlash that Echo got, if like more of this is coming from the fact of Maya Lopez like healing his
childhood trauma.
You know what I mean? Like,
No.
and I know we've sat there and we've joked about it and stuff like that, but like this is a wild turn for Kingpin. Like,
Yeah.
to sit there and be very adamant about being on the up and up and trying to do things the right way. And it's like, we get to the end of this episode. It's like, bro, that's not you.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
not you. You're not him. And so like, it's almost like that's, if you take that into consideration, does that make it make more sense? And I don't know if it does or doesn't.
Yeah. No, it definitely seems like he is like, obviously they want to give Vincent D'Onofrio like stuff to do other than just like, I'm evil.
Yeah.
So it definitely seems like there is this inner struggle with him of like, I want to do good, but I'm also like, as we saw with him and Adam in the previous episode, and him and like eating all the like pasta and stuff, like he does slip back into his old ways kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering when that's going to break, like when that is fully, I imagine it's going to be in the next couple episodes, is like, he's finally just going to snap and he's like, fucking Kingpin, goddammit. Like, I will fucking do whatever I have to. I will kill you. I will ruin your lives if you don't do what I say.
Yeah.
He'll probably come back to it whenever Adam won't get back up anymore.
Yeah, probably. How the fuck was he alive at the end of that?
Was he?
Yes, they showed him breathing.
Yeah, they showed him breathing, and I was like, ain't no way that brother is still alive.
He's got to be a mutant or something. Fuck
Yeah, for
that. No. I thought he was dead. I thought he was sure enough dead. So I agree with you, Richard. Like we're going to see something. We're going to see Kingpin in the next couple of episodes. Be like, not only did he just have his moment with Adam where he kind of lost his shit and tried to justify it by like giving him the guy an axe. But the fact of the matter is that Luca is got to pay $2.8 million now by the end of the week. And so depending on how this, time frame goes on these episodes, like it's still the end of the week, like that this has got to be paid. So, I mean, I the way Luca was talking to him, which honestly, I was really surprised. I'm like, shit, how long have you really been out of this? Like, I don't feel like I have a good clarification. Either I've missed something or it's just not been explained. So how do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all feel it's been explained or am I just missing it?
I don't think it's been explained very well either. Like, I get that they had that where it's been a year and all that, but I don't know. I think it would have been good to see a little bit more of like what he missed. kind of.
Mm.
Yeah. The like 1 year pass where we get with Foggy dying and stuff like that is like also a year past for Kingpin, but it's not crystal clear. And then the time jumping around between Hawkeye and Echo and pre-blip and post-blip, all that is just so fucking confusing. They definitely need to take like an episode and just hold our hands and guide us through this little timeline of what happened, in my opinion, because it's about as clear as mud kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's super clear, but I can also just go, okay, some time has passed and he was getting his eye recovered and then he was dealing with the Echo shit. So clearly he hasn't been in the game, quote unquote. He's just been, I don't know, off in where was that? Oklahoma? I forget. Where was the Echo taking place in?
Yeah, I think it was Oklahoma. Yeah.
He was just off in Oklahoma healing his childhood trauma. Like,
Yeah, I completely forgot about the fact of like, he got shot in the face at the end of Hawkeye, which was a Christmas, and then of however many years ago, and then like he's had that whole time where he's had to like heal, like not emotionally but actually physically, and then he had to heal emotionally to now where we are now, which where Echo ended, this picks up like either right after or shortly after because he's elected mayor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they're talking about how they need somebody that would fight at the end of Echo, and then that's what brought us into this. So that shouldn't be too far apart, but still it's all that time before. So yeah. What's his name? We just need Luis. Is his name Luis?
Yeah.
Luis?
from Ant-Man.
From Ant-Man, yeah. We just
Yes.
need him to come back. Like, people have been wanting that for years. Just bring him back to do that shit. Like, people would love that. They would get so many clicks. Like, come on. I mean, that would be much better than sitting a bunch of chairs up for 5 fucking hours with names on the back. Like,
spoilers. I was hoping we'd do an episode about that.
we can still. I've got a lot more shit to say about that, but like, I'm just saying. And if y'all think that's the last one, no, I guarantee you they got a whole nother, at least one more video of fucking chairs.
Not actually fucking chairs, but just
no, not fucking no, that's pornography.
No. Chairnography.
They just fold chairs up and lay them on each other, and that's fucking chairs.
That's how stools are made.
Yeah. Chair squatting. I've got some first appearances, Jeremy. Are you ready? He said, "Yay!" Muse. I think I should have done this like 2 episodes ago because we had that cameo, but Muse, Daredevil 11 from 2016. That's fairly fucking new, but still not as new as this guy right here. Cole North, Detective Cole North from Daredevil number 1, 2019. So we got some fresh blood in here with that.
I was wondering about like whenever they like specifically called him out, I was like, okay, he's got to have some. I should know him, maybe. I don't know, but like. He's got to have some kind of importance or some kind of role in the comics, I guess.
I don't know that he does necessarily. I mean, I assume he's going to, but like, I knew of this character and I knew the rumors of like Cole North going to be in Daredevil, but I'm like, why does that fucking matter?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I don't know. I think I missed that memo. But the Swordsman came back.
Yeah.
Like, we got video of him in a costume. He's going around just dueling people with a fucking sword. Like, how do you
fucking saber or rapier or something? I don't know what he was.
You got White Tiger running around at night. He gets capped in the head, and this guy, he can run around and nobody does anything. Bringing a sword to a gunfight? Come on, he's got a sword though. He's a sword to a gunfight.
Yeah, it's a sword. Maybe they think it's a magical sword.
This is not the Ebony Blade. But yeah, I was like, hey, it's that guy. Cool. I'm glad to see you still around doing things.
Maybe they thought it was what's his name? Hawkeye back.
Ronin.
As the last. Yeah, Ronin.
Oh. I mean, he was on all black.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that could have been what it was. They were like, oh, it's Ronin. I ain't fucking with that.
I was glad to see him not only like in the video on the phone, but also like at the meeting
Mhm.
and like talking to him specifically about vigilantes and like how
Yeah.
it's not going to work. And I'm like, oh, look at you.
Yeah. It was kind of cool too, because like he helped in Hawkeye, the last episode, he helped Hawkeye and them take down the tracksuit mafia. Remember, he was like pulling out his sword and like
Yeah.
fighting them kind of thing. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, cool.
So I want to get into the Daredevil Muse fight, and
Okay.
I liked how that came about. I think Daredevil on his way there, like the CGI kind of looked a little wonky, but it's not horrible. But it was just a little like I'm glad we didn't stick on that long. So I like him running down the subway and zip lining towards
I thought that was
Bullseye.
cool.
That was really cool. It looked a little weird, but I thought it was really cool though. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed his fight into it. Muse didn't put up quite as much of a fight as the Irishman either, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. I like his little kick flip that he did though. Not Muse, but Daredevil.
That was when he did that. I was like, that was cool. That was wholly unnecessary.
Oh yeah, no. It was just for like cool points. That's all it was. It's like I'm Daredevil, bitch. I'm in my costume.
Yeah.
I am feeling this.
Oh man, when he screamed, when he's fighting with Muse, and then he just like lets out like a primal rage scream. I was like, Matt is like, I'm fucking coming right now. Like, do you have any idea how long I've been holding this in?
I hate the yell. I'm so done. I don't know if he did that in the Netflix series or not. I can't remember. But like this constant of like, I beat the shit out of somebody and then I just and then possibly beat the shit out of them some more. Like I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I want him to stop.
Yeah, he did it in the previous seasons.
Did he?
Yeah, not a lot, but he did it in some of the. I know for a fact he does it in the Punisher. When Punisher chains him up in season 2, and then he gets free, and then he's like going around like attacking everybody in that like stairwell fight with the chain and everything. He does a lot of like screaming there as well.
I got you.
Yeah, I get the first one where he with the police officers. I get that one because that was like he's like kind of angry with himself that he it got to that point and whatever, like just trying to release that.
Yeah,
this one did seem a bit like odd timing. He just standing there and he hollered it, and so it just that one did this one did feel a little off on it, but I did like the correlation between him and Kingpin at the same time, like getting angry and getting because Kingpin hollered too during that, so that part I can understand a little bit.
Like you were talking about earlier, Jeremy, with the back and forth between the scenes or whatever. I love that of like just solidifying like they are, like you said, back in their respective roles of vigilante and villain kind of thing. So I don't know. The motherfuckers that they're doing the writing and the directing and the shot, the photography, like these guys right here need more money. Like they need to be put on more shit. They need like we need more shit like this. I'm not saying I need Miss Marvel TV show to look like this. Don't get me wrong, but we need more. We need more of this.
Yeah,
I agree. And like the other thing too that I caught that it was at the end of the episode that I really liked, and it's solidifying kind of like what you were saying, is that they're here. Is him telling Angela, like, and she's like, Daredevil, and he's like, yes, I'm here, here. Like, and then that's where they end the episode. Like, okay, Daredevil, he's here to stay, and he's back, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then like right before when he's like deciding whether or not to like go do Daredevil stuff, and he's just like, fuck it. Like I wrote down, fuck it. I'm Daredevil now. Fuck
Yeah.
Angela, girl has Hep C at least. at least. Like, ain't no way Muse is cleaning. Like, just hear me out. Like, he's a serial killer, so he ain't cleaning those needles.
Right.
Like, he stabbed her and then injected her with probably fucking heroin. Like, where is he getting fucking? Like, he's not like raiding a hospital to get some kind of like knockout drug. He's probably just getting heroin off the street, like kind of thing. It's probably laced with fentanyl, for Christ's sake.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if anything, that girl's dead in a few minutes.
She's now an addict with some kind of disease. Some
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of blood disease is what it boils down to.
I was just like, yes, thank you, Daredevil. You saved me, but now I have Hep C. Like,
no, I thought the same exact thing. I was like, there's no way he's cleaning that shit because honestly, that's a waste of time to him.
yeah,
Like, you're gonna die at his hands so he can use your blood to make paintings.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what this is all about. And so why would he not reuse shit? Why would he clean anything?
yeah, exactly.
That makes no damn sense. Like,
Which you reminded me. I love when the sanitation guy goes into Fisk's office and his little, I can never remember her name, but his aide to his like whatever assistant to the assistant manager or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck she is.
Sheila?
Sheila, that's it.
Yeah.
Sheila is like, tell him what you told me. And he's like, yeah, so we were cleaning up. Like, it's the most New Yorker thing ever where he's like, yeah, so I was cleaning up this graffiti and, I was using the chemicals and stuff and it wasn't working. She's like, no, skip to the part that you told me. And he's like, oh, yeah, there's blood in it. The paint is blood. Sorry, I didn't mean to bury the lead there. Like, it's the most New Yorker thing ever.
well, there's that part, and then there's like when he has the chief of police in there with some other folks, and they're talking about what to do, and Kingpin just kind of glazes over, and
Oh yeah.
he decides he's gonna make build like his own little mafia, a legal mafia
Yeah.
there of police officers, and that the detective or whatever pipes up and says something, and he's like, well, when the sanitation compartment comes around and tells us about a mass murderer and it's before the police department, I think protocol changes.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. I turned to my wife. I was like, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
Right? Right?
But yeah, I was when he assembles essentially all the Punisher like police officer guys, I was like, this is not gonna end well at all. This is gonna go horribly wrong.
No body cams.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was something else he mentioned as well, and I can't remember what it was, but it's like, oh, this shit, this is not gonna be good. This is not gonna be good. And I kind of wonder, are we gonna see some kind of? He handed him something. He handed him some kind of vest or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so I'm kind of wondering, like, are we gonna get like, is this where something? If they're gonna do Armor Wars, which not that it's been confirmed or anything like that, but that's what was there for the longest time. Like, this would kind of be one of the perfect setups of like, some of Tony's armor gets set out, and Kingpin has a hold of it and hands it to these merry men right here, and it's like, I don't know.
That
I
would be
don't know.
really cool. I don't think it's that. I think it's a vest that has the Punisher logo on it.
Yeah,
honestly.
probably so.
I seriously think that's what it is. Just
Or their
because-
tattoo because it's a variation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. You are probably right. But back to the Daredevil Muse fight, though. I have one beef with it. I have one beef, and it's that Daredevil goes to hang Muse, and he goes to hang him on a ladder that's fastened to the wall, and the whole time I'm thinking, just stand on the ladder. Just your feet are right there. Talking about Muse.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jeremy was giving me a look. And
Oh,
he's
okay.
I was.
like-
I was like, who? I thought you were talking about Daredevil standing on the
I
ladder. I was like,
apologize.
what?
No, he's hung him with like he's used the
Oh,
top of the
yes.
ladder and wrapped it around, and he's pulled Muse up. And it's like, Muse, just put your feet on the ladder.
He's got those rubber booties on. He can't grip
Tug on the thing so it looks like you're fighting, and just stand on the ladder, man. Like you're not gonna die.
He probably. I mean, he must have done something like that because he got away. So
Well,
Or I guess just Daredevil let him go.
Daredevil heard the heartbeat for was it
Angela.
Yes, Angela.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was going away, and so he dropped him.
Yeah.
So I guess hopefully this will not be the last we see of Muse. But
No, I don't think it is.
I was expecting his, and maybe they'll do more later on, but I was expecting more gruesome stuff.
I was too, because I know in the comic
Yeah.
it is like body parts, and I'm wondering
That's what I thought.
I'm wondering if this is a like, yeah, we can't do that. Like we can say fuck a lot, and we can show someone breaking their arm, but we can't have like a full on like dismembered body like hanging from wires and shit on Disney Plus kind of thing.
Yeah, but like, what's the fucking point then? Like, I don't know. I mean, if Marvel can put it in a comic book, surely we can show that.
At least we got to see it instead of just blacking out for a second.
For real. Like,
yeah.
Again, it's like with the Spider-Man thing. I'll take the bare fucking minimum at this point.
It doesn't take much to please me.
Yes.
Those are all my notes. What else y'all got?
Since we're still talking about the Muse fight, I was kind of like, we saw what potentially is Muse in like one of the previous episodes. He's like a scrawny motherfucker. Like the fact that he even put up a fight with Daredevil in this, I was just like, what's going on? Like, what does everyone know? Like fucking Krav McGraw? Like what the fuck?
I did hear, I can't remember from who it was though, so maybe they're wrong, but I did hear that like one of the things that's dangerous with Muse to Daredevil is that when Daredevil is around Muse, it messes with his senses. Like it's not like there's a balance or something. There's a chemical thing. I don't know, but he's not as in tune, and so that's kind of what gives Muse a leg up. And so now maybe that's wrong because, like I said, I didn't read that. I heard it from somebody, but I do think that would make it more interesting. Like if that's the truth, like I want to hear that. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would explain that though for the show, because it just seems like he's just a guy, like he's just a like Banksy. I can't say that word for some reason. But anyway. Banksy. Yeah, there. I said it right there. Just like a serial killer version of him though. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they're doing something completely different from like the comic, because the comic we don't even know who he is. He's just some guy. He's like creepy looking underneath the mask.
Yeah.
I don't really have any notes. I'm sad that I had something prepared for this episode. I had a new soundbite for this episode because I figured you would talk about it, Michael, because we talked about it like 2 episodes ago or something. But at one point, Kingpin is putting on a coat and he tears it. And my mind immediately went to
that guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat.
I'm so sorry. That's great.
Oh god.
I mean, that's what happens when you change your, egg omelet and asparagus to, big family style bowls of pasta from Olive Garden. I'm just saying.
Unlimited breadsticks and salad, man. Put the weight on you.
Yeah. Lots of carbs. I'm just saying. That's great. I got a little coat. Oh, man.
But that's it for me, man.
Cool. What about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, that was all for me.
Yeah. I guess that's even more so of like him going back, like even more, like even his body is changing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Well, y'all come back next week. I think we're going to have some more Daredevil. Maybe not another 2 episodes because I don't think Disney's dropping another 2 next week. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't.
Yeah,
I don't know yet.
I think we have 3 more episodes for the season. So they may either drop 2 next week, or they may do 1 and then 2 the final week, or they may just say fuck it and do 1 episode per week until the end.
Yeah. I kind of want single episodes from here on out, but
yeah.
regardless of what they do. We'll be here.
So I had looked it up earlier today because I was curious to see how many episodes they had, and as of right now, it just shows that they are doing just one per week.
Nice.
Okay.
And only 3 left. They're going to 9.
Right.
Fantastic.
1st, 8th, and then the 15th.
Fantastic. All right. Y'all come back next week. We'll do an episode of Daredevil again. In the meantime, Jeremy, where can I find you at?
They can find me on Twitch under the handle Night Fury GTO. It's Night with a K, and you can find me here.
Awesome. Richard, where can they find you at?
If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, an Instagram, a Blue Skies, and a Threads. My handle is Night Curry, night like day and night, and Curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, possibly TikTok, we'll see, and Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. Not even looking at me, Jeremy. And if you want And if you want to check us out,
frozen. Oh no, there he is.
Yeah, that was supposed to say. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics. I don't have this ready with an X.
Oh, that's awesome. You can find me on Instagram, eBay, and Shortbox22_comments, as well as YouTube at 22 comments. Thank y'all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did making it. All being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Goodbye, Jeremy. Goodbye.
Jesus wept. A blind solicitor and hold for it, an orphan? Are you bloody serious? You're like a regular wee Charles Dickens character, aren't you?